This Gallade EX deck just won a 139 player tournament and also took down 3 Giratina players while doing it. The deck is also a massive counter to Gyarados EX. So in this video, I'm going to be taking this deck into my master ranked games and over explaining my every decision. Now onto the gameplay. Going first into the water matchup, so hopefully this is a Gyarados deck. Okay, so it is. He should be massively favoured into this matchup. Even if he does have Magikarp in the front spot, it doesn't really matter. But we do counter this deck. Thing is, even if he evolves straight into Gyarados, he would have to get through multiple 1 prizes just to get to the Gallade, right? So it's really hard for him to play this game. Let's see what he goes for. I also have the Gallade line already. A really good hand for me this game. The fact that he Pokeballs first tells me he already has a couple of basic Pokemon in hand. So I think he has Origin Form Palkia. Let me just do my turn and then I'll tell you my theory. Let's see. Pretty straightforward. So I think he has Origin Form Palkia in hand. And I think he held it and put Magikarp in the front spot because he knows he can always leap out to safety when he sees the Hitmonlee. Now the question is, does he have the fact that he's not playing anything down? I mean, it's pretty smart because he doesn't want to take any damage with the Hitmonlee, right? So that's fine, I'm just going to keep building up Gallade. Now he needs to evolve. He needs to evolve to stay in this game. We'll see now if he has the evolution. Or he could try... He could pay the 1 retreat cost and then evolve, and that way he doesn't have to leap out. Let's see what he goes for. He has actually a really good start, by the way. This guy has a really good hand. But even though I had this insane start, this game is not clear who's going to win. But I'm going to start doing 30 damage until he's in range of the Cyrus plus Gallade combo. But yeah, if you're a Gyarados player, take notes from what this guy did this game. He played this matchup perfectly. He kept his Magikarp in the front spot while the Hitmonlee was threatening his bench. And then the turn when he knew he was in danger, that's when he opted to retreat. And he's built up as big a wall as he can. I don't think it's going to be enough in this game though, because, as I said, the matchup is so favoured in my direction, it's hard for him to actually come into the game. I'm going to do 30 to Gyarados. But next turn, he's already doing potential one-shots onto my Hitmonlee. So my Gallade does 130 to this Palkia. So if he has Giant's Cape, I can't even one-shot that guy. But I still think I'm going to put the 30 damage onto the Gyarados, because that is the ultimate threat that I need to defeat this game. So he needs to have a second Iridate, or he can't place the 4th energy on the Gyarados right now. Let's see what he goes for. This guy's actually really smart, that's crazy. So he thankfully gets Tails. So I have to push another 30. What if I just retreat? What if I retreat, attack the Palkia now? He can never one-shot my Gallade. He would have to go to 4 energy. So say he heals, I would always get the second attack, and then I just have to use Marshadow to finish off. Is there a safer plan than that though? Is there a safer plan? I think I like that plan of action, you know. I think that's what I'm going to go for. So I feel pretty comfortable right now. I'm going to take the first prize. You can only push 160 at maximum. He would have to have Iridate plus Rocky Helmet to really make me scared here. Let's see what he has. He has a big hand. Let's see if he has Iridate plus Rocky Helmet. He doesn't have that, so he concedes. GG, really fun game. You could probably learn a lot from both sides of the matchup there. I'm going first into a grass matchup. We do get the Hitmonlee start, which is really good. You never want to have Ralts in the front spot if you can help it. So it looks like we're versing Rotom, Carnivine, Arceus. This should be... I actually think that this is probably a favourable matchup. But I'm looking for Marshadow here. I do pick up Marshadow, so that's good. We actually have a really good hand here. I have the full Gallade line. I have the Marshadow. I have the Hitmonlee. Let's see. He wants to have Carnivine right now so that he can start pushing 50 if he has Carnivine plus Arceus. So if he doesn't have that, we're in a good spot. And it seems like he doesn't since he's attaching the grass energy. He's going to do 20 to Ralts, I imagine. Yep. So it's possible that he does have other basic Pokemon in hand, but he's just too scared. Well, not scared, but he doesn't want to allow Hitmonlee to hit them for 30. I'm just going to place my energy on the Curlier. And then my turn. So he does have the Arceus. Let's see if he has the Carnivine. He could Cyrus in Curlier and push 50 if he had Carnivine plus Cyrus. It seems like he doesn't have that though. I'm going to start putting 30 onto Arceus, whereas he's going to keep pushing 20 onto Curlier. I feel like I am in a favourable position here, but we'll see what happens. I'm thinking about using Iono after evolving. However, it seems like his hand's really bad. Like, he doesn't have Pokeball, he doesn't have Research, he doesn't have Carnivine. So maybe I shouldn't Iono because there's a chance he gets a better hand from it. But I do need to pick up Cyrus at some point. I'm just going to push 30 onto Arceus here. We're just hoping to set this in range of a one-shot from Gallade if we do pick up the Cyrus. I think no matter what happens, I am going to Iono next turn. But if he has Cyrus, he's potentially pulling in my Gallade one turn quicker, which is kind of scary. I'm going to go with the assumption that he's running one Giant's Cape in his deck, so he can currently bring his Arceus to 130, which Marshadow can't one-shot. So I might have to do one more 30 into the Arceus. I think I am going to Iono here. Because his hand's looking... He has 4 cards, but he's not playing Research or Pokeball. I think there's a good chance he has Cyrus in hand currently. And if he has it, he's going to retreat and one-shot my Gallade next turn. So I am going to Iono. If I'd Iono'd last turn and got a Cyrus, I would have been able to pull in his Arceus, so maybe I should have done that then. Just to increase the chances. Let's see. Giant's Cape doesn't even save my Gallade here. He's always able to do 130 if he pulls it in. So I'm going to have to kill 2 of his Pokemon somehow. How am I going to do that? How can I do that? I think I need to hope that he doesn't have Giant's Cape because I think I need to put 30 damage onto this Rotom right now to set him in range for the 40 of the Marshadow. So my plan is, he's going to Cyrus and kill my Gallade right now if he has it. I'm hoping he doesn't have it. That would be the worst case scenario. If he does, my Marshadow can currently one-shot his Arceus as long as it doesn't have Giant's Cape. So I'm hoping that if he is doing the Cyrus play, he doesn't have Giant's Cape. But he isn't doing the Cyrus play. So I have one turn to try and pick up Cyrus. If I get Cyrus, I can one-shot his Arceus right now. I have 2 of them in the deck and there's 9 cards, so 2 and 9. He does actually have the Cape. We would be able to one-shot this with the Cyrus though. But yeah, my plan was going to be, if he had the Cyrus, I was going to revenge kill with the Marshadow if he hadn't had the Cape. And then I was going to try and do 40 to the Rotom. Let's see, he's starting to push 50 now. He knows that the Gallade is in range. So he doesn't need to do any more damage to it. Let's see. What can I do? Well, he didn't have Cyrus last turn, but he did draw multiple cards with Research. So I guess I'm going to just... I could Mars. Or I could Iono. I think I have to Iono. Ah, this is tricky. I think I'm going to Iono. It gives me the best chance of drawing my Cyrus, whilst also potentially shuffling his hand away. So I do have Cyrus. Could try and build up a second Gallade. It's probably too slow, but may as well try. I'm just going to do another 30 to Arceus now. Just in case he does Cyrus my Gallade and kill it. I want to be able to one-shot that with Marshadow. I might still be in a winnable position here, even if he does the Cyrus play, because I would still have my Cyrus to be able to pull in this Rotom, and it's very unlikely he's running a second Giant's Cape. So even if he does my worst, the worst play for me, which would be pulling my Gallade in and killing it right now, even in that scenario, I think I do still win. So I'll have to see what he goes for. But if he doesn't kill my Gallade right now, I can just pull in his Arceus and one-shot it. So he needs to go on the aggressive right now, if he can. So he has applied the energy. It looks like he's thinking of going for it. Let's see if he has the Cyrus. To be fair, there is still 8 cards in his deck. So he is retreating. It looks like he does have the Cyrus. I think we're still winning. If he has a second Cyrus, he can then pull in the injured Hitmonlee and win. You would actually need a second Arceus as well in that scenario, because his Carnivine's currently only doing 20 damage. I'll bring in the Marshadow and get the revenge kill. Sabrina doesn't cut it because I'm going to send in Curlier. And 50 wouldn't be able to one-shot the Curlier. So he needs exactly second Cyrus plus Arceus to win this game. Let's see, what's he got in hand? He did use a Pokemon Communication earlier. It's actually interesting that he's running Pokemon Communication in this deck. Let's see what he has. He needs second Cyrus. I'm getting a bit scared here, but... So he has Giant's Cape. Okay. So now, if I didn't have this Gallade, I wouldn't... Oh, he's even Marsing my hand away. Oh, wow. I can still win with Gallade top deck. And I do hit the top deck. That was 1 in 8. Really lucky. Let me just double check. Yep, that's a win. Now I can retreat into Gallade and take the game. That was actually a really close game. He even had the second cape to protect his Rotom. So he's running 2 cape. And a Pokemon Communication. That's really strange, but GG. Going second versus Darkrai Giratina. I think this is probably an even matchup, right? He doesn't have Darkrai next turn. I'm going to be at a massive advantage in this game, assuming I pick up Ralts turn 1. I need to try and get Ralts ASAP. I would also like Hitmonlee. Kind of strange that he put both his Giratina down on the bench, right? Because now he's weak to Hitmonlee. I don't really like that he's just jamming his Pokemon onto the bench like that without even considering. But I guess it's fine. Maybe it's not too bad. I'm going to research first because I need to find Ralts and Hitmonlee ASAP. Let's see what I find here. Hopefully Ralts. Okay, that's Hitmonlee, so that's fine. But I could potentially retreat now so that he isn't getting chip damage onto the Marshadow. Then if I get hit by Sabrina, I'm really sad. Let's see. So the question becomes, do I want to allow him putting 20 damage onto the Marshadow? If thing is, I don't really see a world where I win this game with Marshadow anyway. Let me think. I would get screwed really hard by Sabrina. They only run one copy, but I think I am going to just retreat now. I'm just going to say if he has Sabrina, then he had it. But there is a world where preventing him from getting 20 damage on the Marshadow means he can't Cyrus it at a later point in the game. That could be really useful. Okay, so it seems like he doesn't have Sabrina. Let's see, does he have Research? He probably doesn't have Research if he's thinking this hard. Maybe he's thinking about if he wants to use Mars. He probably sees that I have 5 cards in hand, and he does opt to use Mars. Hopefully this can find me a Ralts. No, it finds me absolute trash. That's fine though, we can still win. This could potentially be Ralts right now. Okay, so now the question is, do I want to push 30 onto Darkrai or 30 onto Giratina? Let's see. Let's see. So when this guy attacks, he's always going to be on 4 energy, right? So my Gallade is always going to be one-shotting him. So I think I need to push 30 onto Darkrai. That's the assumption I'm going with. Next turn he's going to build up a second energy and go to 3. I'm going to push another 30 to Darkrai and set up Marshadow. So now his Darkrai will always be in range of the 100 from Marshadow. Although that isn't factoring in things like healing, which this deck runs a ton of. But that's fine. If I can pick up Curlier soon... Yeah, this is a nightmare. I'm just going to build up Marshadow and then do another 30 to Darkrai then. Just sticking to the same game plan. So he can start attacking this turn if he wants to. If he has Leaf. I think he has Leaf, right? He has to have Leaf because... Well, he doesn't have to have it, but I think with the way he's played the game, it tells me he does have Leaf. But maybe he doesn't. But I do finally pick up the Curlier. My Hitmonlee's getting pinged down and dying next turn. That's kind of sad. Is there a world where I retreat to Marshadow so that he doesn't get a free prize just yet? And he just comes in and kills. Let's see. So if I give him the Hitmonlee kill now, Marshadow will only be able to do 40 anyway. Honestly, I think I'm pretty doomed regardless. But I am going to retreat. I am going to retreat. My reasoning is I don't want to give a free prize over that easy. And now I'm at least forcing him to come into the center spot if he wants to take a prize. So if he doesn't have Leaf, I'm at least buying 1 turn. And if I can get Gallade down, I might still have a chance to win this. Let's see. I mean, as it stands, my Gallade is always one-shotting both of these guys because of how much energy he's put down on them. Now I just need to find Gallade. Does the cape change anything? Not really, no. I think the scariest thing would be if he puts a Rocky Helmet on the Darkrai. So it's really not rewarding me. I feel like this guy is playing really badly, but it's not rewarding me at all. I'm just gonna sit again. Just gonna sit for another turn. I still think if I pick up Gallade next turn, I have a big chance of winning this. Crazy how they always have Mars on like turn 1 when they actually need it. That is actually truly crazy to me. But that's fine. My draws are... I've run 2 Iono, 1 more Research, or 2 Gallades. So that's 5 cards. So 5 out of 8 insanely good cards for me. I'm hoping for Iono or Gallade, and I get one of the worst things I've ever seen. But for some reason he isn't retreating and going on the offense, so I get to buy another turn. Let's see. Do I need to put Hitmonlee down? Guess I'm Mars right now. Maybe it makes sense to save it. No, because I'm always using Cyrus on the turn when he takes his first prize. So I'm just going to Mars now. I don't think I ever have another turn to use Mars. I'm just going to keep piling energy on Curlier just in case he has Team Rocket Grunt. You could argue I should have just held the Mars so it's an extra card with Iono. But I'm happy setting him back 1 card. I just need to find Gallade. I feel like I have 5 really insane top decks now. Just need to find Gallade. I'm not a fan of the way my opponent played this game at all, by the way. I think they should have gone on the offense way earlier. By giving me more time to come into the game, I feel like he's just giving me more chances to win. So he is Sabrina-ing now, so I'm going to obviously put in the Hitmonlee, which he's going to kill for 20. Then I'll put the Marshadow back in. He does now have Rocky Helmet for that guy, so now it's looking pretty rough because my Gallade's going to fall to 150 when it attacks, which he can do with either red or second Darkrai. I do also run 1 Giant Cape. I'm hoping for Iono right now. Dude, this is actually unbelievable. Actually unbelievable what's happening right now. So 5 cards out of my 6 in the deck are Professor's Research, 2 Iono, and 2 Gallade. That's what 5 out of my 6 cards are currently. What is the final card? Ralts? Second Ralts? But yeah. I don't think I can win regardless now because he would need currently red and second Darkrai. He'd be able to do the 170 that is needed. I can't even Cyrus in this guy anymore. Ah, this really annoys me. This really annoys me. And that just like sums up my game. That just sums up my game. 5 cards left in the deck. Professor's Research, 2 Iono, and 2 Gallade. That was a fun game. I'm going first into the water matchup. Hopefully this is a Gyarados deck, which we are targeting right now. So it is a Gyarados deck, most likely. I have seen Palkia plus Palkia EX decks, but it's very rare. We have the Hitmonlee start, and we're going second, so we have a massive advantage right now. If he ever puts Magikarp down on the board, we're sniping it instantly. He would need Giant's Cape to keep it alive. So now we're just mainly worried about his Origin Form Palkia sweeping the game for him. Maybe if he got like 3 heads in a row, he'd be able to one-shot all my Pokemon. But I do have Gallade, the full Gallade line in hand, so I'm not too worried about that right now. The fact that he isn't playing Misty this turn is a huge help here. I think he's going to go for double Magikarp. Also, he does have the Giant's Cape for his Magikarp, okay. That's completely fine though, because he's going to need to evolve to Gyarados next turn. He's never going to have the energy to attack. He would need to get to 4 energy to attack and 2 energy to retreat. So I can just keep doing 30 damage for as long as I want. And then I can Cyrus in the Gyarados to finish it off with Gallade. Yeah, this is such a free matchup for the Gallade deck. This is what you're targeting by playing this deck on ladder. I think this deck probably has a slightly unfavoured matchup versus Darkrai Giratina. I don't think it's a horrible matchup if you're playing the deck correctly. Maybe slightly less than 50%. But versus this deck, you have like 60-70% win rate. It's actually insane. So we're going to show the Gallade. I could literally Cyrus it in right now. But then I'd be scared of Misty. Let's see, is there any reason for me to not Cyrus it in right now? So I'd be pushing 110, which puts him to 60. Irida would put him to 110. Even if he got ahead from Misty, he's never one-shotting. So I'm going to go on the aggressive right now. So he would need a heads from Misty, and then even then that wouldn't really do much because I'd be finishing him off and he'd have to then get maybe another couple of heads from Misty on the back Palkia. If I didn't have the Cyrus there, I would just keep pushing 30 damage onto the Gyarados on the bench. But since I had the Cyrus and I had the Gallade ready to go, I decided to go on the aggressive. The quicker I close the game out, the less Misty shenanigans would affect the outcome, the less the Irida healing comes into effect. That's why I went on the aggressive there. Looks like he is trying to build up a second Gyarados. But I'm just going to take my 2 prizes right now. I'm just thinking if I want to play either of these guys down. Very unlikely that I would be able to build up a second Gallade, but the second Hitmonlee is actually quite important. So just in case he's running like a really weird Mars, I am going to play the Hitmonlee on the bench just so that I don't lose out on him. Now he's going to put... He can't really put Palkia in the front spot, because then I'll be pushing 70 on it and it's always weak to my second Cyrus, which he most likely knows I'm running. So I think he has to put his Magikarp in, evolve to Gyarados, and then hope for a Misty Miracle. Okay, so now he's doing it this way. I don't really see how he can ever win from this spot. Because he's never going to get the 2 energy to retreat his Palkia back, right? But he is actually shuffling my hand. So Iono was another reason to play Hitmonlee down there. So he's going to need a Misty on Palkia. It just isn't cutting it. I'm going to draw 2. I could have potentially masked there, but I don't think it really matters. There's not even any Pokemon back in the deck, but that's fine. But yeah, he can never retreat and get enough... He can never get enough energy to retreat or enough energy to attack on the Gyarados in the same turn. Wait, Leaf, I didn't even consider that. But yeah, he still can't get up to 4 energy. Did he place Rocky Helmet? So he doesn't even have Rocky Helmet. So even in this really obscure scenario where he is running 1 Leaf for whatever reason, it doesn't really matter. I guess I'll Mars now since there's potential that he has cards in his hand that he can win with, I guess. And he's still playing the game out, so I assume he thinks he has some sort of way to win. But he's never one-shotting the 170. Red doesn't even get him there. And even if he managed to somehow get through Gallade, the Marshadow's always coming in for the revenge kill. I really like that coin. Is that... I think that's a new event coin, isn't it? I don't actually have that yet. I want to try and get that soon. But yeah, ever since from turn 1 when my Hitmonlee was pressuring his Magikarp, this game was over straight away. And I'm going to clean up the win right now. And he does concede. GG. Going second into a fighting matchup. Sadly I have the Marshadow start, which isn't ideal. You'd much prefer Hitmonlee. But it looks like we're versing Rampardos, Lucario, probably 1 Sudowoodo, 1 Marshadow, is what I'm going to assume right now. But he's going to be pushing 20 damage next turn. And I need to pick up Ralts ASAP. Or Hitmonlee so I can start pushing 30 damage onto the fossil as quickly as possible. That would be 2 turns away at most anyway because of the retreat cost. So I think I am going to Pokeball right now, hoping for Ralt. But I could also save the Pokeball for 1 turn to try and increase the odds. It depends on if I need... I think I can hold off 1 turn with the Gallade, so I am actually going to hold the Pokeball for 1 turn. Just to try and increase the odds of drawing Ralts, because I don't want to have to Iono away the Curlier Gallade that are already in hand. That would be a nightmare scenario if I had to use Iono and get rid of those guys. I don't want to have to do that. He already has Cranidos on turn 2, I mean. I'm definitely going to try out this deck for a video. Seems like a lot of people are playing it right now. And I need to focus and try and win this one. I'm going to Pokeball first and hopefully hit Ralts. We do hit that now. But do I care about pushing the 40? Thing is, if I push the 40... this is so frustrating. I feel like I'm 1 turn too slow. Maybe I need to Iono and look for Giant's Cape. Maybe I need to pray he doesn't have Lucario. Guess I'm going to Iono and look for Giant's Cape. Because if he has 1 Lucario, he's 1-shotting my Marshadow next turn, which I don't want to allow. I get all the pieces back, but I don't find the Giant's Cape that I needed. Maybe I just retreat into Hitmonlee. Actually, I like that. I like retreating into Hitmonlee here. And I'm going to push 30 onto the Rampardos, right? Has 150, then it'll fall to 120, which would actually be 70. Yeah, I think I do need to push 30 onto the Rampardos at some point. I'll get that over and done with now. So now when he attacks, he'll fall to 70 HP after killing a Pokemon. I'm going for it right now. Has he got double Lucario, really? He has double Lucario right now, it's unreal. If he does this, he's only pushing 70, so he does have the Rampardos. I don't really feel like I'm in that bad of a spot though. If he doesn't have Sabrina, I'm getting Gallade down for the revenge kill next turn. So there's definitely potential here to still win. I could even Mars him back 1 card, because he goes for this play that tells me he has Sabrina in hand, right? So I am going to Mars to try and get rid of that. I don't think he would have gone for this play if he didn't have Sabrina. He was pretty confident that he was going to be killing my Curlier right there. So that's why Mars was pretty good there. Now it's harder for him to find Sabrina. He puts 1 energy on Marshadow. He gets the Sabrina anyway. That's so unlucky. I feel like I played pretty decent this game, but he just had his cards on curve. He had Rampardos on turn 3. I even hit him with the Mars and he hit me with the Sabrina back. But let me know if you think there was anything I could have done differently this game. But I'm going to drop the concede because it is over. GG. I'm going first against Skarmory Magnezone. Sadly, I have the Ralt start and I'm going first, so this puts me at a massive disadvantage this game. I do have the full Gallade line though, and he's starting with Magnemite, so it's not like he's got an insane start either. So I can actually kill his Magneton before he could ever evolve to a Magnezone. Am I scared of Sabrina? Maybe. But am I scared of Mars? Would he be running Mars in this deck? I think it's more likely that he's running I don't think he's running Mars, but just in case. I don't think he would want a Sabrina in this spot anyway, so that's why I'm happy playing the Pokemon down on the board. Okay, so he's got multiple basic Pokemon here. I wonder if he runs X-Speed, and I wonder if he has the X-Speed, so it seems like he doesn't. Okay, so he's pushing 10. He should be running the Steel Magnemite here, by the way. Don't make this mistake. You should always be running the Steel Magnemite. He pushes 20 damage instead. Maybe he doesn't have it, but I doubt it. I'm going to Mars here, actually. I sent him back 2 cards. I get to go down to 3 cards, so it makes Mars less useful for him. The only way I get punished here if he has Iono. Because then I'll lose my Gallade. But I think it was still worth the risk. I sent him back 2 cards overall, so let's see. So he's pushing 50 right now. Damn, he actually did have the Iono. Let's see what happens. So I pick up the Gallade back anyway. As I said, I don't want you to use results-based analysis and be like, you shouldn't have played the Mars, you should have kept it in hand for the Iono, anything like that, because I set him back 2 cards and it was not guaranteed that he was going to have the Iono, right? I think it was still a correct play. The only sad part is I lose out on, and he does concede. I lost out on the Cyrus, which I could use to pull in the Magneton at some point. But when he sees the Gallade, he concedes, so GG. Nice quick game.